Someone has never been told no before. This is an old one, but it's stuck in my mind as an example of the overprivilege some people have. Hopefully I haven't embellished it too much in the subsequent years of retelling. On mobile. Apologies for any formatting errors. I'm working as an assistant manager in a shop in the weeks following Christmas one year. We have a display of boxed chocolates and other sweet gifts. There's an older lady perusing this selection as I'm tidying shelves, checking stock levels, etc. When I hear a loud, very posh voice, "Excuse me, you there? Can I help, madam?" "Yes, I'm looking for a box of chocolates." "Anything in particular?" "Well, just something to replace these." She had with her, in her hand, a box of chocolates that we sold. That much I could see. I mentioned that I'd be happy to help her find a replacement. I knew these weren't exclusive to us and could be found elsewhere locally, so I asked if she had her receipt. "Oh no," she replied haughtily, "I didn't buy them. They were a gift. My grandchildren told me they bought them here." "Oh okay, that shouldn't be a problem. We're a small town, and I would normally recognize the customer, but we have a few well-off, older people that rarely visit the local shops, and I thought I'd give her the benefit of the doubt." She was a bit superior, but I was determined to be professional and polite. "May I just ask, what's the problem with the chocolates you are returning?" I asked. "Oh, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like them." It was at this point I became a little suspicious. "I'm sorry, could I just see which ones they are?" I said. It was at this point, when she held the box out, I could see that they had been opened, the seal broken and the inner packaging loose. "I'm sorry, madam," I told her, "this box has been opened. I can't accept a return if the product isn't faulty." "Well, of course it's open. I had to try them. That's how I know I don't like them. But there's nothing actually wrong with them. They're not moldy or contaminated. No, I just don't like them." Her condescending tone was starting to get to me. "I'm sorry, madam. I won't be able to accept these for return as the product was in good condition when we sold them and they've been open since." This is atrocious. How am I supposed to know if I like something if I can't open it? "I will not be shopping here again." With that she stormed out. This might have carried some weight if she had actually ever deigned to shop here in the first place. The audacity to ask for a replacement for a food product that had been in perfectly good condition, until she had partially eaten it and that she hadn't paid for in the first place. True to her word, we never saw her again. I heard an older couple at a restaurant last year who were at the table behind us talk to the manager because they tried a new pizza they hadn't had before and didn't really like it. I was about to cuss them out for wasting the manager's time, like seriously. You tried some food and you didn't like it, so you want it for free? That makes zero sense. If I tried something I didn't like, I just would accept I made a bad decision and not buy it again. As a server, I have had that happen a few times. If they took 1 or 2 bites, I'd consider comping the meal, if they were nice, but if they were rude or ate the whole thing, then peep that noise. Then there were the people who wanted a replacement meal, and when it's a busy Sat night W/30 minutes ticket times, that's just not going to happen. We have only sent food back once. They were potato wedges with so much salt that they were inedible. We did try to eat them but couldn't. They looked like someone had accidentally or purposely. Maybe the cook had a bad day. I dumped the whole salt shaker over them. The waiter wouldn't take them back, maybe he was also having a bad day. So we had to ask for a manger. Thankfully she could tell they were way oversalted and refunded us for them. The restaurant closed a few months later. I rarely send back food, but you don't sound like you were being unreasonable at all. My dad is the opposite. He'll talk down to and admonish the wait staff, and it is really embarrassing to dine with him. In his defense, he does tip really generously to servers that put up with him. My father-in-law is like that. I mean, he is fairly nice, but I swear he finds something to complain about every single meal. I think something has gotten sent back every time I have eaten out with them. Mild upside to a pandemic, I guess. We haven't been out to eat with them in over a year. Damn, I don't think I've ever sent something back. If I don't like the food, I usually just don't tip well and don't eat there again. Undefined. Just don't tip well. It's not the server's fault that the food is bad. Y'all don't split tips with the cooks. Such practices vary widely. I have people do this kind of thing with pet toys at my store. We accept returns on everything, even open food, if it causes some sort of problem. But if a toy had been clearly used and demolished, obviously we can't take it back. But people still have the audacity to whine that I won't take back their half of a chew toy. We had a lady once who threw a legit tantrum in the store because I wouldn't take back her opened, shredded cat toy because her cat didn't like it enough. She told me to just keep it and toss it and stormed out, then came back in to take it back and then threatened to call our home office. Like, go ahead, I guess. They'll tell you the same thing. Lol. Maybe a big informational sign with a photo of the toy. Caption: "We're not taking this back because my cat didn't like it enough." Not that people read signs. Still nice to shove the sign in their face once they return. P. Or amusing to just lean on it to see how long it takes them to notice it. Never. The answer is never. Or at least if they do, they'll never acknowledge it. Because if they did, then they would be wrong. And that's just unacceptable. So she pretty much said, "You will never get my non-existent business again. You much had been traumatized." My grandma was out to lunch with us one day. She ordered a salad, ate some of it. There was a fly in the salad. She complained and got it taken off the bill. Then she asked for a to-go box. 1. Eat half a box of chocolates. 2. Return for fresh box. 3. Repeat ad infinitum. 4. Profit. I think 3 should be ad nauseum with all that free chocolate. I should have thought of that. I was thinking fat profit, but decided to stick to the well-worn meme. I mean, she didn't shop there in the first place. These are the kind of people you can tell have never worked a day in their life, unless it's some kind of no-pressure thing where they stuffed envelopes for a charity for an afternoon so they could brag to their friends what a selfless person they are. Years ago, when I was a grocery store checker, I had an expensively dressed /coiffed bejeweled woman hand me a frozen pizza box with one slice left in it. She wanted a full refund because it wasn't up to her standards. That's not as silly as it sounds. Look at the pack photo. Look at the actual product. Manufacturers have well crossed the line from puffery to deceptive conduct. Grandma, I will not be shopping here again. Me, you promise? My reply to "I will not be shopping here again" would just be "thank you." With a big smile. What do you mean you won't return the chocolates laced with my saliva? Atrocious. S. I have one rule I follow when eating out. Don't send it back unless your life would be threatened by eating it. When you get the replacement, examine carefully. I think the only thing I ever sent back was a beef taco salad that included one strip of 100% raw chicken. I'm guessing they just removed the chicken and sent it back out. I didn't get sick at least. Oh, and a group of us once got a plate of nachos with a Band-Aid. My friend didn't eat nachos for like 6 years after that. If something like that were happened to me, I wouldn't be rude about, but I'd definitely ask for a manager at that point. Could be a one-time oops, but I would definitely let them know just in case it's something that's come up before. When I was a student, I worked at a bakery, and this guy entered the store, grabbed a chocolate off a shelf, and bit it. I didn't know how to react. I was shocked. He said, "Oh, I can eat this, right? I mean, I have to know if I like it, otherwise I won't buy it, of course." He ended up buying some chocolates and wanted to pack them himself. I told him we didn't allow that. So he said, "Oh, so you're allowed to touch my chocolates? You may have just been scratching your ass for all I know." If I hadn't been a 17-year-old naive girl at the time, I might have told him to GTFO. I was so angry though. I will not be shopping here again. Thank you, madam. We do appreciate that. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch. Unless the food is unfit to eat, it is caveat emptor. Buy at your own risk. Loved the policy when I worked at JJ's. If you've eaten half the sandwich, you don't get a free replacement. Period. If you could eat half of it, it obviously wasn't that bad to you. Loved enforcing that policy. I love it when CS to me RS say I will never eat, shop, etc. Here again, I call it the trash taking itself out. Even better when it's a phone conversation and they hang up on you. I didn't know you could even return food in a store. Lucky you.